shoulders feeling a little off, hips feeling a little funky, these 2 banded exercises can help solve that. Check it out. All right, so what are we training with this high to low chop, right? We're training the anterior oblique sling. Now that's gonna be your external oblique on this side, and it's gonna be your internal oblique and adductor on this side. So the main things that we're looking at focusing on here is rib flare, right? The ribs popping up, so we're really trying to keep our ribs down. That's also gonna stop us from overextending at the low back. And then we are also focusing on our bracing, so being able to kind of keep that pelvis neutral. We're looking to tuck that tailbone underneath, keep that brace, and breathe as we do the chop. What we're really trying to focus on is making sure that we're pulling those lower ribs down and across. We're not crunching. We're not trying to do a crunch exercise here where it's an oblique driven movement. So make sure that lower rib feels like it's pulling down and across. You should get a lot of activation again in this external oblique, a little bit in the internal oblique, and a little bit in the adductor. Now, while that high to low chop is connecting our ribs to our pelvis, this next one, the low to high chop, is gonna connect our pelvis to our ribs. So just kind of switching gears a little bit. Now as we get going on this one, muscles that's working, right? We're pulling up and across. We're gonna get some serratus anterior. We're gonna get some low trap on the back side. We're gonna get some glute on our close side, and we're also gonna get some internal oblique on this close side. So we're working that sling up and across. So the nice thing with this one is we're pulling up and across, like I mentioned. We're gonna fix some of that upward rotation of this arm. So we're gonna get some better upward rotation. We're gonna get some better shoulder blade gliding, some of that scap gliding across that rib cage. So as we pull up and across, that shoulder blade is going into that upward rotation and coming back down. So we're getting some better activation through that, which is gonna help work on some of that uneven shoulders or some of that shoulder pain you might have from the scap not gliding well. Now as we get going on this one, remember to, again, lead with the core. Our arms are nice and straight. We're reaching, we're pulling with the core up and across. We're not just pulling our arms up and across, right? So we're twisting with, as we pull up and across. We should feel that serratus kick in. We should feel that glute on the backside kick in. And we're trying to kind of keep our hips generally facing forward. So we're getting that nice big rotation and pull across. If you're doing this one right, you should feel some nice tension. Again, we're pulling up and across. You should feel some nice tension coming right across those ribs. That's the serratus anterior kicking in. That means you're doing it right. Now we go about setting things up in terms of dosage, right? How are we actually doing these movements? A good solid 1, 2, 3 sets of 8 to 15 reps is gonna work. Obviously, you're starting with lower reps, lower sets at the beginning. Great to pair up before a run. Great to pair up before you squat to get your hips set. Great to pair up before you bench or do some overhead work to make sure that your ribs are in the right positions as well. You're probably gonna feel some better muscle activation once you finish and once you feel like you've done things the right way. So great movements to throw into a warm-up. Also throw at the end of a session if you just wanna make sure you're re-ingraining some good motor patterns, but make sure these get into your sessions. And hopefully that helped. 2 different exercises. Most of us don't rotate enough, don't get across with that oblique sling. So make sure you're diving into some of these exercises. Drop a like, subscribe please for more content, and then make sure you're dropping a comment. What else can I help build out in terms of some content to help you feel better, move better, and maybe even look better? Have a good one. Never settle with yesterday.